I think right after the last game, I was like, we're gonna win this. And then literally 5 minutes after, I was like, actually, I don't know.
Well, I've been like that, like so much of this tournament where I'm like, we're done, we're finished. Yeah. Oh, we could win it.
Yeah.
And I'm just I mean, not everyone tuning in would probably agree, but I am quite a humble person in reality, in the sense of I don't like to get ahead of myself. I rarely predict a Man United win. I always feel like I don't want to upset the football gods.
Yeah.
So I want to sort of treat today as I respect the Spanish.
Of course.
They're an excellent team.
Of course.
But it's going to be an amazing one. And so all the viewers tuning in, make sure you hit the like buttons. Make sure you are subscribing. With the podcast for you today is our last full day in Germany.
Yeah.
The final, England versus Spain. Got a bit of transfer news for you as well as the Premier League. Literally, we're going to get back Monday. And it's Premier League. Premier League's like 4 weeks away. So
less than that, I think.
There's loads to sort of delve into. But yeah, it's today is just... My message to anyone who's English or supporting England, doesn't matter. Enjoy it. Have a party.
Yeah.
We are so blessed to have just been in 2 finals back to back.
Yeah.
When we went through 54 years with no finals.
Yeah.
I am just going to enjoy it. The kids are on their way over. And yeah, I want to win it more than anything, but just enjoy the day. I think more so than anything else.
It's an experience. I mean, I think as well, because of Euro 21 being under COVID restrictions at the time and not really being able to enjoy it as much as you would do. This is the first real final England have been in our lifetimes where you can get the final experience. And not going to upset your football gods, we're going into this with what I think is a better team than last time.
No, you're spot on. We are. I think they're more experienced. We have match winners. We have so many individuals that have achieved, and I love what Harry Kane said in the last few days, that he would give up everything he's achieved in his career on a personal level, all the goals, the golden boots, the player of this, the player of that, team of the year. Sam, if you're watching, it goes to prove that I've won the debate again, that actual football players care more about team trophies than individual trophies. But listening to Harry Kane say, I'd give every single element of that up to win this trophy. You couple that in with what other people have achieved. So you look at Bellingham's last 12 months, the Liga champion, Champions League winner as an example. You've got Kobbie Mainoo, who 9 months ago, you said it earlier, Dizzy, was in the...
Under 19s,
Under 19s. You fast forward a year, less than a year, he balled out in the FA Cup final. He's going to become the youngest finalist to start for England in the history of our nation. I just feel like we do have a more experienced team in terms of the age group now, plus so many more of our players have achieved and won things and got over the line. There's more, hopefully that's going to breed a bit more of a winning mentality.
And you know what? The other thing that, obviously not getting ahead of ourselves, but England as a nation, obviously the women's team won the Euros last year, I think.
A couple of years ago.
But as the men's team, we haven't won anything since '66, right? So the next team that wins something for England, be it these guys today, your name goes down in football immortality, essentially. Your name will live on like the Bobby Charltons of the world. And that's the part for me where I start to get a little scared. I'm like, oh, maybe I can't think about it too much.
Do you know what? That's the element that doesn't scare me. That's the element that makes me emotional.
Yeah.
I was sitting here this morning doing a bit of work. I had some England. I haven't listened to, you've been here with me the whole time. I haven't really listened to any England songs. I've just tried, I don't even know why. But this morning I had a few of them playing. And I was thinking about Kobbie. I was thinking about Kane. I was thinking about Saka and a few others and Jude. And just thinking what they could achieve today. And even though I don't know any of them personally, I can feel my eyes welling up. Right? It isn't just a trophy that I want. I want so many of these players to have footballing immortality. Where in 150 years, in 200 years in our sport, we as a nation, at the very least, will remember them. And I'm not taking anything away from the Spaniards. Yamal's story at this tournament is beautiful. They've got excellent players with Rodri, Fabian Ruiz has been amazing. I'm not writing them off in any capacity, but I am in a headspace where all I'm thinking about is the what ifs from an England perspective, because there's some arrogant England fans, but You've been out here for weeks.
Yeah.
You get arrogant fans from all
literally all.
everywhere.
One thing
the
can I
Dutch-
say? I
the
need
Dutch
to
last
say
time?
the narratives and the PR about English fan bases. Yes, we're a little bit rowdy. Yes, we like to drink and blah, blah, blah. We are no different to literally any other country. I don't want to hear that stuff about, English fans go places and start trashing things. The Dutch, we have it on camera. Those streets were horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. So, yeah, I don't want to hear none of that stuff.
And look, it is what it is. I think every nation has some bad eggs within its fan base.
for
And
sure.
we're definitely not the only nation that gets
No.
rowdy.
Oh, no.
We were all up in town when Spain beat France. And it was a party atmosphere, but it was certainly going to be a very messy, drunk atmosphere
Yeah.
if you stayed there. And listen, as I say, I know tomorrow, like, kids haven't got to go to school in the UK till 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Maybe there's going to be a few people phoning in with sore heads. KJ's working, though. I'm not letting KJ not work tomorrow. Just putting that out there. But look, I hope we do it. In terms of getting over the line, in terms of beating Spain, who have been the best team at the tournament,
Yep.
who I think have mesmerised us in games. They've got two amazing wingers in Nico Williams and Yamal at this tournament.
Hardest path.
How do England stop them, and how do England lift the trophy, boys? What are we saying?
It's a weird one because if you look at the way England haven't played well, but they've shown that they have multiple ways to get over the line. They've shown that they can win at penalties. They've shown that they've got that late surge in them to pull it out the bag in the last minutes, to get the goal, to equalise or the winner. There's obviously danger men there in Yamal and in Nico Williams, but you'd hope Kyle Walker can run it back one last time and show why he's been starting all tournaments. Hopefully Luke Shaw can give us 45 minutes in the second half to really give us a bit more balance on that side. But I think we shouldn't be going into this game thinking about how do we stop Spain. It should be how do we hurt Spain. We're a nation with a lot of good attacking talent that we just haven't seen this tournament.
Southgate does wear a life jacket in the bath. So maybe that's why I'm asking the question from that. But listen, I hear you. I don't think so. I want to get your take on this, Dizzy. I don't think Spain will approach this as they have done most of their games, barring... I think it's going to be similar to the Germany game, where they're going to attack in phases and sit back in phases. I think they're going to, the same as we will with them, I think they're going to respect the potency and the danger that England possesses.
Yeah, I mean, our path to victory, I think, has to live and die on being a little bit more adventurous than I think Southgate has shown so far. But as the old adage goes, is you can play crap for a whole tournament. All you need is that one in the final. Yeah. I think back passing to the keeper as much as we have done in the other rounds, I think might be a bit of a mistake.
Yeah.
I think letting Spain get ahead by one goal, which we've done in a few of the games as well, probably be.
Have we done it in every knockout game?
Every
so,
knockout
yeah.
game.
Every knockout game we've gone a
I
goal
think so.
down.
Yeah, so that might be a bit of a mistake. I think we have to hit them early. I think if we do the game plan that we did with Italy, where we scored early, but then instead of defending for the whole game, actually try and play football, I think it's going to be a lot closer than people give us credit for. Because I think
it's a big ask of Southgate. That's a score, and then not immediately go and put everyone behind the ball.
Yeah, but I think this England team is better than people give us credit for, and I think as far as man for man, I think it's a lot closer than people will like to pretend. So. Yeah,
I think if before the tournament you lined the Spanish teams and the English teams up and got people to objectively pick, you'd have had more English than Spanish players being picked. No one, and I mean this from I'm not talking about people that religiously watch Spanish football, but nobody that comes on the Terrace, no one on all the other major English fan channels was taught, watch out for Fabian Ruiz at this tournament. He has been amazing, but nobody was saying...
Danny Olmo.
Yeah, the man. Danny Olmo's another name.
Cucurella. No one was saying Cucurella at left back.
I mean, by the way, I will say about Cucurella, Gary Neville's in the mud with that one.
Yeah.
Because Gary Neville said that... I mean, he's in the mud unless he makes a mistake and England win. Gary Neville must be sitting thinking, oh, go on, Cucurella. Like, make the mistake. Saka goes through the 90th minute and wins, and he goes, I told you.
Yeah.
But Cucurella has been excellent this tournament.
Yes.
I will say before we get on to some of our boys, I don't want it to happen as an Englishman. But if Yamal balls out, scores the winner, I mean, you could argue it's the greatest knockout sort of tournament performance
From a teenager.
I'm going to say ever.
Yeah.
I mean, because he is a teenager. I mean, definitely the best of a teenager.
Yeah.
But if he's 16 balls out, I mean, that goal he scored in the semis, we were out. That silenced
Everyone.
the entire room that we were in.
Yeah.
We've got to stop him, though, haven't we?
Yeah, I think, man, I think if he can do it, I think he'll have to go on like the icon potential watch. Like when Mbappe burst onto the scene when he was like 17, 18, I think it was. I think it's that level of talent. There's definitely a player in there. But yeah, no, we have to. He's one of the guys I'm looking at. I think it's Carl Walker's on this.
No, it's Kieran Trippier.
It's Trippier.
It's Trippier.
I think Luke Shaw's probably going to start then.
Apparently, according to the journalist, it's an unchanged lineup.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just gonna have to be one person that we stop. I think he's the key. I think if we can stop him, I think we might be able to contain everybody else. But I'm not
that worried about Trippier with him. Maybe I'll get this wrong, but if we go 3 at the back, it's more Gahey.
It is, but I think Yamal is the problem I have with Trippier is Trippier. It should be Trippier and Gahey on Yamal. But it will oftentimes, Trippier will be caught out because he's slow. So it will end up being Gahey on Yamal. And I think in a 1v1 situation, I don't know how Gahey's going to try and defend that without exposing everything behind him as well.
No, I understand that. Yeah, he can't be left. Yamal's of such a quality, you can't leave Yamal against pretty much any fullback, one-on-one or centre-back. There needs to be cover. Listen, we've got Saka. And I know that will trigger certain Arsenal fans who hate Saka, which is weird. But Saka's pretty much doubled up on in every single game he plays for the club and country. And that's because they know you leave him against a fullback exposed one-on-one, 9 times out of 10 he's beating him, and we have to make sure we don't fall foul to that today. I mean, the dangerous bit, though, is that they've got Nico Williams on the other side. So if you're suddenly doubling up on both wingers, it either means you're leaving the middle open or you're having to play defensive. So this game for me it's going to be peaks and troughs. There's going to be times where England are in the ascendancy and on the ball. There's going to be times when Spain are. And although this is going to end up sounding like such a cliche, it's going to be about who is the most potent and deadly in clinical in front of goal. I think you'll find that Spain might have 5% more of the ball than us. We might have 5% more of the ball than them. I don't think any of that is going to be overly different. It's all going to come down to they're probably going to get 4 or 5 good chances. We're probably going to get 4 or 5 good chances. And it's who scores the most. And I know the team that scores the most wins football matches.
Thanks, Michael.
Cheers, Michael.
But at the risk of sounding like Michael Owen, I mean it in the sense of this isn't going to be Spain have 80% of the ball, dominate us, and we'll win on a counter-attack. I think it's going to be a game that's fairly balanced, open at times, but it's just going to be about who finishes those chances because it's going to be, I think it's going to be fairly even.
It's all going to come down to matchups, and I think that the right-hand side for us has really interesting potential because, like you said, Nico Williams is a threat. But if he's got Saka bombing up the wing behind him, he can't necessarily just stay up front the whole time. So he might have to track back, which then putting in a one-on-one with Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker's not had a great tournament, if we're being completely honest. He's done all right in games, but he's still got that pace. And he's still shown in moments that he can keep up with these wingers.
The bravery element is also going to be key as well. And you are going to have to help out at times. Both sides are going to come back and help. But there are also times where, and I know we criticise it at club level when my winger didn't get back and we conceded. But what about when the winger doesn't get back, you win the ball back, and then he's ready to counter and he scores? There's a balance to this, I think. But sorry, go on.
And I think on the bravery thing that you're saying, I think the major thing that I'm looking out for is Southgate and when he makes changes. I think up until the last game, I wasn't overly happy with the changes, but even the last game against the Netherlands, I think the changes that he made were late. I think it will be very telling how big a moment this is for Southgate, and if the lights are a little bit too bright, if he flaps a little bit and he doesn't make the changes at the right time. I think Netherlands was a good test for him. He made the right changes, a little bit too late, but he got the win, so who cares? But
you can't say it was too late because you got the goals.
I'm saying at the time you're watching the game, you're like, now would be the time, and then he actually
because although last-minute winners are nice, no one makes substitutions with the. I'm bringing them on now at 75 minutes, so we score on the last kick of the game. So again, I think if he'd have brought them on 60 minutes, 65 minutes, I think we would have still beaten the Dutch, but maybe the goal would have come earlier. Although it's all like perspective because we score with practically the last kick. We could all relax then. There was no response time. Look, we're going to do predictions here. Tom, how is it going to go today?
Oh my. You know what? Let's just have a laugh. 4-0 England.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Why would you do that? Especially after your performance at football yesterday. 4-1 up. We were 4-1 up.
Oh, they're going to try and change the narrative now, people.
No, this is it. This is what I said. We were 4-1 up. I scored 3 of those goals, by the way. And me and KJ, let's take our time. Let's draw them out. And every time Tom gets the ball in a good position, instead of taking his time and passing it, trying these first-time weird passes, 4 times on the bounce, he lost possession.
Hold on, it wasn't 4. It wasn't 4 times. I'll hold my hands up. Second goal, my fault. Third goal, I'm not taking any blame for because it was me trying to block the easy and it just went through. Couldn't do much about that. Fourth goal,
you turned your back on the ball and you weren't watching.
No, I blocked it. It just went through my legs afterwards. There's not much I can do there.
The 4th and 5th goal, your fault.
The 4th goal, the 5th goal, I can take the 5th goal,
So
not all of them.
All of them.
Not all of them.
4-0. Dizzy, what you going with, bro?
You know what? While we're out here, I met an old chap. Lovely man. Colin's his name, in case you're wondering. He told me you have to keep the faith. So I will never turn my back on you, Colin. I'm gonna keep the faith. I think we're gonna win. I'm hoping we're gonna win. I am gonna go 2-0 England, but it's not gonna be comfortable, I don't think. Penalties, anyone?
My stomach has a horrible feeling.
Yeah.
Having said that, I've been eating a bit of bad food, right? Yeah. So it could be a bit of that. But 2-1 England.
Okay.
I'm putting positivity out there. I want to stress because I'm going to look at the camera and say this. I know there'll be people in the comments, you're not respecting Spain. I'm just putting positivity out there. Don't be babies.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get romantic with it.
Yeah.
What I said the other day, I said I would like a 2-2 and I'd like us to win on penalties.
Oh,
that's a dream.
I wouldn't. My heart couldn't take that.
No, but my dream is to win on penalties.
Yeah.
But 2-1 England, 88th minute.
Oh.
He gets played through on goal. And there he is, the youngest player in the history of English football. To start that final, Kobbie Mainoo for the winner. I will be in tears. Yeah. Not just because my nation won, not just because we did it against the odds, not just because 58 years of hurt will be over.
Oh man!
But it is the Cinderella story of the unknown to the top of the world. Inside, I want it.
In like 10 months.
I'm romanticizing here.
Yeah.
This is what I want to happen.
Yeah.
Not more so than what I think will happen.
Yeah.
But Kobbie for the winner. 2-1 England. Sir Kobbie Mainoo.
Player of the
Sir Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Sir Gareth Southgate. Sir Bukayo Saka.
Yeah.
Oh, it will be beautiful.
Yeah.
We'll be partying until the early hours of the morning. Viewers, give us your thoughts, feelings, comments below, score predictions as well. Now, moving on from England, the Premier League starts in like 4 weeks.
Crazy.
Like 4 weeks, Premier League will be here. Man United actually have a pre-season game tomorrow night.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
6 p.m. UK time. We've literally got a game, or 5 p.m. UK time. We've got a game.
Yeah.
Transfers are looking a little interesting for Man United in a minute, Dizzy, aren't they? We're doing all right.
Yeah. No, we're doing quite well. I'm quite. You know what it is? I got so tired of United doing this thing where we sign the big name that everybody's heard of, and it's like guaranteed success, and it didn't guarantee anything. So I'm quite happy to see names that I haven't heard of because it means that the scouting department must be doing something. Yes, they're all Dutch. So how much is Ten Hag's just got his number and he banged in his phone and asked him if he fancied.
I mean, one of them is his old captain, so that's
but yeah. So I'm quite happy about that. I did see that Onana's gone to Aston Villa, so I reckon that Branthwaite is probably not coming to United because I think they'll probably be asking for 70, 80 now because they don't necessarily need to sell. But hopefully we've got plans B and C in the books, and I'm quite happy, to be fair.
I'm the same. Like we linked today with Xavi Simons, which Fabrizio said we're behind the curve on that, but I like it. The Ivan Toney is the one I want to come to fruition now. You had Ivan Toney with Xerxes and Højlund.
Yes.
I don't quite know who's staying yet, but you got Rashford and Sancho's back in training.
Yeah.
We've got Garnacho and Ahmad. Suddenly.
And Anthony. Don't forget Anthony.
Oh, I'm forgetting Anthony. Party day.
Why, man?
Like, I look at it and go, if we really are doing a big transformation on the pitch in terms of how we're going to play, the new coaches, you add all those players to the mix, and I'm going to keep my feet on the floor.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean I'm not excited about the prospects of what we're doing. Yeah. Especially when you look at every other club, it's quite quiet. No one's really doing anything. We're kind of motoring forward. So I'm really happy with what Man United are doing right now.
Yeah.
Chelsea, on the other hand, linked again now with Julian Alvarez.
I actually know him. I actually know a player that Chelsea are linked with.
Oh, man. Interesting one though.
I mean, I really like him. I think he's a fantastic striker, and if he was at anywhere other than Man City, he'd be starting pretty much every game for the Premier League side. I mean, say it quietly, Brad, have him at Liverpool instead of my Uruguayan striker who we don't even know if he's allowed to play next year. I think I don't know if Chelsea's necessarily the correct move purely because of the abundance of forward line options that Chelsea have.
Abundance of humans.
And effectively as well, Alvarez should be challenging for Premier League titles. I don't know if Chelsea are there yet. And I don't know how long it would take Chelsea to get to that point.
I'm going to back Chelsea in this, though. Because I think Tosin and Dewsbury Hill were going to make them a much better. They're going to make them better. You throw in a Julian Alvarez. I wonder what that noise was. It's KJ in the cards. I was like, I thought there's a drip of water in it. Julian Alvarez into the mix. That man has got goals in him. The only reason he isn't starting well for City is because of the cyber. Yeah. I was going to make a joke then, but I won't. Someone who Haaland looks like that we saw on the news this morning. We're not going to. Anyway, we're not going to. Yes, we'll leave it out.
Yeah, better not.
Dead it.
Better not.
But that's why I don't play more. I think if they were to, they've got Tosin and Dewsbury Hall. You throw in Alvarez, and then someone else in and around that level of player.
Yeah.
Chelsea are 100% challenging to get back into the Champions League next year and could do it. And then if Maresca clicks, who knows?
Yeah.
Because they've got good players. I don't think they're a squad. The only one of their players I have a question mark over that's meant to be becoming a star is Enzo Fernandez. Every other player in their team that they bought, where there's hype over them, I think there's quality players in there.
Okay.
It's just a combination. The one where I do back the Chelsea fans is Poch made so many mistakes in the early part of last season.
Yeah, he did.
That's what they've got to get right. It is the signings, but they've got to start the season well. If they go 10 games in, they've lost 5 of them, all the pressure and the angst from last year is going to creep back into the dressing room. But if they get Julian Alvarez, they are a threat.
I think the only problem is, I think they have an abundance of humans. So I think it's
humans.
Just people just around the gaff. You know what I mean? So it's one of those where it's like it's going to take them ages to figure out who their best 11 is. And by the point that they actually might get through all these players, will they be in a position where they can now start challenging for top 4? Because I think, funnily enough, last season was essentially that. And my cousin is a Chelsea fan, and I was telling him I like where they were at more so than I like where United were at last season. Trouble is, how long does it take you to get the 11 that you like?
Yes.
And will you be in a position then to actually go on and do something with the 11 that you have? So, yeah, I don't know. But I think, to be honest, I think Alvarez would probably be better suited to Arsenal. I think they need a striker, you know?
Well, I think Arsenal the only team that shouldn't be looking at this deal is Man United because they won't do the business. But Arsenal, Liverpool should be looking. I mean, he is light years ahead of all of your attackers, barring Salah. Light years.
He reminds me of Jota if he could just stay fit. If Jota could just stay fit.
Listen, I know Jota. Me and him are not friends, but we know each other. Acquaintances.
Okay.
Alvarez is better than him.
I mean,
he is.
I'm still going to have Jota just ahead of him, but there's a reason why I still...
You don't have sauce on your food.
Yeah.
But no,
he eats legit dry food. Last night he had a burger. It was 2 bits of bread and
double-decker burger.
Double-decker burger.
Yeah.
No cheese, no salad, no sauce.
Cheese wasn't by choice. It was just that we didn't have any left.
And then it was so dry, he tried sneaking out the room with the food in his hand. But like, where you going with your food? But I was going to top my drink up. Who eats their food at home on a dining table and goes, I'm going to go get a drink.
It picks the
up
food
their food and takes it with them.
Worried somebody was going to eat it. That's what it was.
No one. You could find someone who hasn't eaten in a week and they wouldn't eat your food, Tom. They wouldn't eat your food. This man, he is so malnourished. It's unbelievable. By the way, what KJ did, we didn't get this on camera, what KJ did to him.
Lethal.
KJ, one hand, Jonah Lomu, boom in his chest. This man did 3 roly-polies on the floor.
Like a cartoon character.
Finished.
Yeah, all
I simply have to ask is, did KJ score afterwards?
Doesn't matter. You got little broad.
KJ didn't score afterwards,
Had
so
nothing to do with you, though.
the defending was a success.
Brother.
That's all that matters.
Brother. You got absolutely embarrassed.
KJ didn't score. I didn't concede, so...
He still went out at that round anyway.
Hilarious.
Weak.
Hilarious.
But yes, no, Alvarez is better than him. But to Arsenal, as you say, there's really quiet on Arsenal at the minute. Calafiori looks like it's going to get over the line.
Yeah.
But attackers, Arsenal have got to add something before the Premier League starts, surely.
Must do. And I think, you know what it is? I think Arsenal fans won't have the honest conversation with me anyways, because I've been trying to tell them for years that Gabriel Jesus is not the striker that they thought he would be, because when City had Gabriel Jesus, they were saying we need a striker. So now we've arrived at the junction where now they also need a striker, where they have a striker. But I think they need a striker, and not gonna lie, that left wing is looking very light to me. I think I like Trossard. Like Trossard a lot, actually. Don't know about Martinelli. Do not know about my man.
See, I feel with Martinelli, I think he's had one of those seasons where it was typical for a young player. Had a really good year 2 seasons ago. Has a little downturn. I think he'll be back to his best next season. Or do you think he's tapped out? Do you think he's got to his level and then it's like that's it? That's for him.
I think it's tricky with young players because it's one of those where it's like when you're starting, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. And I'll take it off of Arsenal a little bit. I put it on like Garnacho, for example. When you're an unknown quantity, the defenders have to kind of guess, and you have a little bit more freedom, so to speak. Once the teams know what's your strengths, what's your weaknesses, and they force you towards your weaknesses, can you overcome that? Yeah. We've seen Garnacho do it a little bit, but he's definitely tailed off from his first season where he was like first breaking into the squad. So I think this season will be more so the telltale of who he is as opposed to last season or his first season. I don't think either are a true reflection of his skill. I think
Martinelli's got too much talent. I think he was a victim last year of Arteta not knowing how to play his left-hand side. If you go look at that Arsenal side, that right-hand side was the most stable thing in the world. It was Saka on the right, Odegaard and Ben White. That was the right-hand side triangle. Martinelli lost Xhaka, who was the main guy for him the year before that. And then had Havertz there, he had Rice there, he had Jorginho there, he had Partey at points there, he had Fabio Vieira for a couple of games there, and then left back there was Zinchenko, there was Kivior, there was Tomiyasu, there was even Julian Timber to start the season. So he just had so much change around him that I think he was just a victim of that. I think that he might not get back to what he was the year before because there's no Xhaka, but I certainly think you're going to see a return to a good level.
I agree. I think what they almost need to do with I think they need to look potentially at someone to come in to give him another kick up the backside, to keep him pressure. You always need pressure on your job. Losing your job. If any walk of life, there has to be pressure on your job going to help maintain motivation and progression and work rate. But I think Martinelli's could get absolutely back to his best if there's more balance on that side. It makes sense. But the Gooners have got a bit to do. Story today, and I'm looking at it now actually. Man City pushing hard to sign Danny Olmo, not Elmo. I keep saying Elmo. Olmo from RB Leipzig.
He had a good tournament. He had a very good tournament.
I like Olmo. I said it when we first got here. Like players that, as far as the Spanish team, we were talking about it quite maybe a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, I don't know, Danny Olmo. I quite like the look of him. Every time I've seen him for Leipzig, I think he's good.
There's one big red flag with him, which is why like United and Liverpool and Arsenal probably couldn't justify it. The man has a horrendously bad injury record. I think he's missed 20 games in each of the last 3 seasons. So, if Liverpool were going to sign him, he'd be a main guy. And then if you lose him for 20 games, you're struggling. City can have Danny Olmo. If he misses 20 games, Kevin can come in. Bernardo can come in. You know, we can just move Phil into the middle, stuff like that. Like, City have the abundance of options where they can accommodate an injury-prone quality player, whereas a United, a Liverpool, an Arsenal, a Tottenham, we can't justify it because we just don't have the quality and depth that they do. Obviously, when you watch him play, you can see the quality he has. And, you know, I think last year at Leipzig, he scored both goals in the Super Cup, which beat Bayern. This tournament, he's got 3 goals, 2 assists. Every time I've seen him, he's looked dangerous. He's looked a threat. He's got real good quality in the final third.
Yeah.
But the injury stuff was always going to stick in my mind, and that's probably why it works for City more so than any other club, because they play such a style of football and they're so dominant and they have so much depth that they can afford, that they can just sort of drop him if they need to for a couple of games, let him recover. Whereas I think sides like us, if we had a Danny Olmo and he was on form, we're just going to keep playing him until he breaks down again, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I like him. I do like him as a player. This summer's really interesting for City because there's talks of Ederson and KDB leaving, Alvarez asking to leave.
Yeah.
They didn't have a great summer last year. I don't think they haven't. Haaland was their signing that come in where it's like, wow. Doku, I think, had a good first season.
Yeah.
Needs to do more.
Gvardiol grew into the season as it went on.
I'm talking from a midfield and attacking perspective. Like Grealish looks like he's at the end of his time at City.
Yep.
In midfield, Nunes didn't. So it's an important summer for City because if Olmo and one other guy they bring in also have seasons to the same level as last year's signings, with the Edersons, Alvarez's, and KDBs potentially leaving, that's when the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool in the title race can catch them. 100%. Because the one thing that's hard to do, and again, City fans will take this as a dig, but it's just history. With Liverpool, Man United fans, we've been there. When you have one of the greatest teams that your club's ever produced, maybe the greatest team it's ever going to produce, typically speaking, the team that's built afterwards is not good.
Yeah, simply just not.
It's hard. It's
impossible.
It's impossible sometimes to get a team. There may not be another KDB for 10 years. There may not be another KDB, Rodri, Haaland, Mahrez.
Yeah, different
collective that also click together.
Bernardo Silva with no egos.
You might not be able to do it because the quality that is there to buy, maybe before you've gone into the market, have gone to other clubs.
Yeah.
That footballers at that level are a finite commodity. There are very, very, very few of them around. So, yeah, I'm intrigued by the Elmo signing because, again, he is not a name where you go, oh, my God, no way, they just got him.
Yeah.
He's good. Yeah. He's very good, maybe. But I'm not looking at it and going, oh, my days, that is scary. The maddest bit is, if someone said now, Terry, Man United can sign Olmo or they can sign Julian Alvarez, I'm picking Julian Alvarez. Maybe they don't play the exact same position.
Yeah.
But I would, out of the two, in terms of potency and danger, I would go with that deal. But look, it's going to be an interesting one. We would speak Liverpool's transfers, but what's going on with them?
We've got nothing. There's nothing. Except Van den Berg might go. He might not.
Is that the ginger geezer? Never played the game. I remember you guys buzzing about him.
We could potentially get like 15 million for him, so it'd be.
Oh, that's good.
It'd be like.
Has he ever played for you?
He's played like 4 games and was crapping them all.
Salah got a new hairline.
Yeah, Salah's
Salah
got
done his hair. Yeah. He has.
what else?
Important stuff going on at Liverpool.
There's literally nothing. I think we're going to do our transfer business very late in the window because obviously Slot's going to want to see all these players in training first. So, and because, Colombia is still in Copa America, England are still in the final, Argentina have made Copa America final. That's a lot of players who are first team players who aren't going to come back late. That's not even including the guys who just went out, who went pretty far in their tournament. So we're going to get our players back very late.
Are you happy about that?
It is what it is.
We don't look very happy.
we knew it was. We knew it was going to happen. It's just a case. I would have thought that by now there would have been a bit more of a base understanding of who we're going to go for, because it just seems like we've been opportunistic all window. If Yoro becomes available, we'll go for him. If Gordon becomes available, we'll go for him. There's areas that need to be fixed.
There's two sides to this, though. You guys were always very secretive under Edwards before.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't know anything that was going on, and bang. So that could be going on.
Mm-hmm.
But also, what's happened since Edwards has left is that Arsenal have upped their game.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea are behaving differently. Whether people like it or not, Chelsea get players.
Yep.
Man United suddenly actually have, for the first time since Fergie, football people making decisions. So suddenly, the landscape is different, if that makes sense. And you see, I love the UFC and I love fighting. You see this when fighters take 2, 3, 4 years out. John Jones Bones has no real issues because he's just the GOAT.
Yeah.
But some fighters, they might have a few years out. Henry Cejudo recently, McGregor, I think, found this. You come back and it's either new fighters or fighters that have improved, and you come back into the realm. And it's like it's not the same space.
Different
that you left.
game now. Yeah.
So I think that this is either Liverpool doing Edwards things, masterclass is coming, it's all under control, but it's just quiet, no content, no stories. Or it's, we're trying here, but suddenly there's these three teams that when I left, there's these 3 teams that are doing it awfully that are now also doing it better and spending more money, and you're missing out on targets. And like if we landed in a Euro, that's a prime example because you guys have tried to sign in this summer and have already Man United are the only ones who haven't walked away. So
I don't think we've walked. I just think we're waiting to see if Real Madrid say no, because I don't think our club can take another Real Madrid rejection.
If Real Madrid don't get him, he's coming Man United. We are not landing him over us. Sir Jim is just not allowing that to happen, my bro.
Why not?
Because he's Sir Jim.
He's Sir Jim.
Sir Jim.
He's just done a video today begging Luke Shaw to not do his hamstring in the final.
He's got
banter,
bro. I'm loving the fact that my owner knows how to have a laugh.
Yeah, I'm loving that my owner knows my player's name.
Yeah. I'm actually loving the fact I've heard my owner speak.
Yeah.
I've never heard, honestly, the Glazers, I have no idea how they sound.
No, could be aliens, who knows?
I mean, I have no idea how they speak. Like, it's true. Yeah, we're... I'm going to slow down and save that for later on in the summer.
Look, I've got confidence that we'll figure it out eventually, but
This summer? 4 weeks?
It's going to go late, which is something that we don't normally do, which
4
is
weeks?
the weird thing.
Late as in like after the season started or late?
Yeah, I think we'll sign at least one player after the first game of the season. And I think you look that's a worry a little bit. But
when do you think you'll get your first proper signing? Before the season starts or after?
Before the season starts, it'll be early August that I reckon the first one comes through the door.
Oh,
and the thing is, you need
taking risks.
You need a DM at least, the guaranteed, because Endo is all right, but he's not a guy that you can pin your hopes on for the season.
I love that guy.
And Bajcetic is 19 and just missed an entire season. He's not ready.
And it's every now and then you get a generational talent at 19 that can lead for a Premier League club in his nation. But
his name is Kobe Mainu.
But Bajcetic is not Kobe.
No.
Well, Bajcetic had an injury. We won't know for a while with Bajcetic.
But we do know. Hang on a minute. Kobe missed 5 months of last season with injury. We know.
Yeah.
We know.
Bajcetic missed all of last season.
His body's not as strong as our Kobe.
Yeah, different ball game.
Means
more.
I think we we definitely need a left back as well, because I'm sick of Tsimikas. I've had enough. If we sell Tsimikas this summer, it's a 10 out of 10 window already. I'd take selling Tsimikas.
The standards are low, bruv.
And we could do with a centre back.
Just like his food choice. Standards are low.
We could do the centre back to replace Matip as well. But who knows what we'll do? We might just go and sign an attacker, because that seems to be what we're after. Also, Barca, please find the money in your heart of hearts. Pull as many levers as you need. Luis Diaz, He wants to go play in Barca. I will drive him to the airport myself.
I'm loving all these players that Klopp wanted, that these men wax lyrical about.
Yeah.
Now Klopp's gone, they're showing their true colours. Get him out.
We never
Get
liked
out.
him.
Didn't like him. Not one of us. He doesn't. To him, it doesn't mean more.
He may walk alone.
Yeah, Liverpool fans, they dropped that slogan as soon as it suits them, didn't they? Yeah. Big up Carrius. Look, boys, always a pleasure to speak. It's been an amazing journey out here in Germany. We've had a great time. I am kind of looking forward to going home as well. I'm like my own bed is cool.
Yeah.
Where I've been sleeping on that sofa, mainly because I wanted my own spot. I couldn't share a room with David. The snoring. Between David's snoring and his toenails, right?
For fuck's sake.
No, these toenails are mad.
Yeah,
They are. He could hang upside down on a rope.
No
like a
way. No way.
bat. Like a bat.
No way.
Bat boy.
Fuck's sake.
Bat Boy and Ashman. What a dynamic.
What the fuck?
That's true. Yeah, it did. Yeah, his legs.
He was nailed on, wasn't it?
Yeah, as soon as I was like, no way, I'm living in a room with them both. I'm leaving them. Yeah, yesterday when David took his socks off, like the ash on his feet. Bro, I thought he still had socks on. He was crazy. He was crazy. Yeah. Listen, everyone who has tuned in, I want to say a big thank you to each and every single one of you. Of course, we're going to be live. Of course, I'm going to be live after England versus Spain later. Win or lose. You can't draw this game. Win or lose, I'll be live. But until next time, take care of yourselves. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon. Peace.